What is up, you mad dogs? This is my recap for UFC Houston, Strickland versus Hernandez. And we got a main card pick right, boys. We're not 0-4 for main card picks this year. We're cheering. Sean Strickland gets it done. Round 3 TKO. My prediction was TKO within 3 rounds, so I'm cheering about that. And there was a y'all must have forgot type of performance from Strickland here. I'm telling you. That was prime Sean Strickland, you know? Working that jab. Not as many teeps as we thought, but when he threw him out there, I feel like he made him count. Quality over quantity type shit, you know? And man, what a fucking performance by Sean Strickland. To put Anthony Hernandez win streak to a halt. Bro, I'm just happy we got that pick right. I feel like it was a pretty good read on the fight there. The real ones knew. The real ones knew. I'm not the first one to say this, but the real ones knew that Anthony Hernandez is a little bit chinny to the body. And I couldn't, for the last 3 weeks of fight cards, I've been back and forth on the main event. But this one I wasn't. I was pretty set on this from the jump. Once I came down with my final prediction, I was set on it. I wasn't going back and forth on it. I just knew it was going to happen, okay? I just knew it was going to happen. Anyways, we got a sick card underneath it to talk about as well. Awesome finishes here. A little bit mediocre to begin the night. But as the card went on, we got some really exciting finishes. Some really exciting fights to watch. And yeah, I'm going to brush through all the highlight performances here. And then I'll just quickly run through the other fights. I think I went 9-14. Yeah, 9-14 on predictions. So, not the worst. Not the worst. We could have done better. But for the last couple of weeks, I've been doing really good on all the predictions bar the main event. Only getting 1 or 2 wrong for the other fights. But I'm happy to make that trade-off, okay? I'm happy to make that trade-off to get this main event right. Yeah, man. What a card. That was a great card to watch. Like I said, mediocre to start with, but it really picked up as the night went on. Let's talk about this main event. Strickland. Sean Strickland. Working that jab. Anthony Hernandez, he couldn't get the takedowns. And he couldn't really get going with his striking. He landed a little bit in the first. He landed a little bit here and there. There was one moment in the first round there where Strickland kind of got caught off balance and went down to a knee for a second and got back up. But yeah, for the most part, it's just Strickland working that jab, just controlling the fight with that jab, doing really well with the footwork to circle out of positions, not letting Anthony cut him off in the cage. And he just kept moving. The constant movement of Sean Strickland here, I think that's what got it done here. And eventually, he started to wear on Anthony Hernandez, just like we said. And he gets that TKO in the 3rd round. Massive knee to the body. I'll bring up some photos here. Bro, huge knee to the body. What am I doing? This is my first time bringing up pictures in a video, so bear with me, alright, boys? Bear with me. But here's the knee to the body. Sick stuff. Followed up. His fight finishing instincts are really good. He just, once he sees that someone's hurt, same as what he did with Izzy, he just puts a flurry on you. Once he knows you're hurt, he can put it on so well. I feel like he does that so well. Stays composed. And then once he smells that blood, it's go time, okay? And that's exactly what he did here. Yeah, knee to the body. Backed him up to the fence, started unloading, puts him down in the 3rd round. Sean Strickland for the win. Paramount's worst nightmare. I hate that shit, by the way. I hate that shit that they cut him off at the press conference. I get it. I don't though. I hate that shit. Let the man talk. This is why we love the UFC. Anyone's allowed to say whatever the fuck they want, but it's seeming that maybe it's going a different way. Maybe we'll have to make a video on that. But anyways, we'll get into some of the other fights on the card. The co-main event. Oh boy. Oh boy. Uros Medic. Why was I sleeping so hard on Uros Medic? The doctor gets it done by a brutal knockout in the very first round against Jeff Neal. Now, in my prediction video, I quite confidently said, Uros Medic is going to end up palms up here. It went the other way around. Jeff Neal was palms up, had the snot knocked out of him. I'm not gonna show a screenshot of Jeff Neal laying on the canvas. Everyone's already seen it. If you want to see it, just go look it up. I'm not trying to put it out there. Just the snot rocket gets me. Just watching that replay and seeing the snot rocket fly out of his nose as he hits the canvas. I've never seen that in my life. Bro, this was brutal. This didn't take long. A minute 19 into the fight. Uros kind of cracked him as he came in with something at one point. And then as he started to back up, Uros could tell straight away. And then he just went for it. Engaged in the pocket. And then caught him with a massive left overhand, I think it was. Or big left hook or something like that. Just grazed him on the temple and put him out bad. Put him out real bad. I guess with this fight, I just thought the technical ability of Jeff Neal would outdo Uros in this spot. Seeing Uros get put out bad by Punahele Soriano, it was a bit annoying. It was a bit annoying because I've picked Uros Medic for every single one of his fights. I really like him. I don't know who could watch this guy fight and be like, nah, boring. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. And with that post-fight speech, I feel like that just confirms that. He's coming to knock motherfuckers out, okay? It's as simple as that with Uros Medic. That post-fight speech was really good. And man, what an exciting prospect. It'd be interesting to see what he gets next. I feel like I'm going to start picking this dude to win a lot. And I'll probably pick him to win against a fucking really good striker and then he gets put out again. We'll see what happens, but I really like Uros Medic, and I'm a little bit annoyed at myself that I doubted him so heavily, especially against an aging Jeff Neal. I probably should have thought about that more. I don't know. This is the joy you get when you predict fights, man. It's not always as easy as you think. It's not always as easy as you think. I guess I went into predicting this fight with that mindset already of Jeff Neal's gonna knock him out. Just thinking, oh yeah, the Punahele Soriano fight went down like that. Jeff Neal's going to knock him out. I was wrong. Okay? It is what it is. It happens. It happens. Anyways, we'll jump on to the next fight. Oh, God. This has to be one of my favorite upcoming fighters in the UFC. Melk Costa. Wow. Honest to God. Wow. Melk Costa with the spinning back kick knockout of Dan Ige. Who does that to Dan Ige, guys? Come on. I mean, shit. I don't know what I'm doing with this slide here. There we go. This is the spinning back kick here from Melk Costa. Boys. Who does that to Dan Ige, right? Who does that to Dan Ige? Melk Costa. Shit, man. What do I say about this? This was a sick fucking knockout, bro. That's 2 head kick knockouts in a row. Early in the fight, Dan Ige got a takedown. Melk was able to scramble out of it. Went for a leg lock at one point to get out of the position. Worked back up to the feet, and man, his kicks are insane. And the volume of his kicks is insane too. Like the amount of kicks he was throwing was crazy. I feel like going a full 3 rounds, maybe that's going to take an effect on your gas tank a lot more and he'll slow down a lot going into the second and the third. But if you're landing those kicks on the fucking spot, you're just going to keep putting people out. So, his kicks are really good. He did really well to work at range here. Keep Dan Ige at distance, not really give him a opportunity to land anything significant. And yeah, just as the 10-second timer comes up, bang, spinning heel kick. Going to the body, but Dan Ige being so short and ducking into it, just put his head right in line. Caught it on the chin there, as you can see. And shit, man. Insane stuff. Melk Costa, I'm really looking forward to seeing who he gets next. Bedtime mentioned like an Arnold Allen fight. That would be sick. We could see a Yair Rodriguez fight. That would be pretty cool. Maybe we could feed fucking what's the other guy's name? Yusuf Zalal. I don't know if he'll take a fight down the rankings, but he's got to get a big fight next. And yeah, he's in the rankings now. He's up there and he's going to be working his way to the top. So it's going to be good to see where he goes next, who he gets next, and if he can put him out again, you know. I'm really excited about this dude's come up. I've been pretty high on this dude for quite some time. I've been watching all of his fights for, I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm really keen to see how he goes. Maybe work his way up to the belt. We'll see. And I'm looking forward to it. As far as the rest of the card goes, Sergey Spivak versus Ante Delija. This was an alright fight. It was okay. A little bit back and forth. Spivak looked good on the feet. I don't know if Ante was just holding back after coming off that knockout loss a bit. But Sergey Spivak was just working that jab really well on him. I feel like he won the first and the third round quite convincingly. In the third round, he got some takedowns, got some control time on top. In the second round, I'd give that one to Ante with the moment where he actually rocked him, had him on the ropes there at one point. Looked like he was going to get a finish, but he couldn't get it done. And yeah, Sergey Spivak picks up the decision win. I went with Ante Delija on that fight. I said he'd get it done by knockout, but that did not happen. I think I went like 9-14 for picks in total. I don't know if I already said that, but I'll drop it there just in case. But I'm happy. We got the Sean Strickland pick. I'm happy about that. That's all that matters to me right now. I just didn't want to go 0-4 for main events for the year, okay? Okay, this fight was brutal. I've got another screenshot to bring up here of this. Let me have a look. Yeah. So this was a really brutal finish. Josiah Harrell stepping in on short notice to face Jacoby Smith. I said Jacoby Smith would win this by decision. I feel like knockout was pretty... I don't know why I went with decision. I think I was just trying to be crafty. And maybe I overestimated the ability of Josiah Harrell on short notice. Jacoby Smith just dominated this fight. Josiah Harrell fucked up by going for a takedown of his own against a D1 wrestler. I'm pretty sure this guy's a D1 college wrestler. Instantly reversed into this position here where he just takes ground and pound to the chin, straight to the chin, out cold. Followed up by some unnecessary shots. I think that needs to be said. But go until the ref pulls you off, yeah? The ref kind of like threw Smith off here because I think he landed like a couple after he tried to stop the fight. But man, he's brutal with that ground and pound. He has some brutal ground and pound. And I love to see it. I love to see it when a wrestler is actually keen to cause damage from top control. That's when it's exciting. This is when you can back wrestling up and say, yeah, no, it's good. I don't mind it. But when you get a fucking Hamzat or a fucking Islam just laying in fucking half guard, or laying in crucifix for fucking 5 rounds, bruh, get out of here with that shit. I want some more of this. I want this. Jacoby Smith laying down bombs. Putting you out cold. Out cold too bad. He was, when he woke up, he was still trying to fight. So, feel bad for Josiah Harrell here. That was a very tough test on short notice to come in to try and have as your UFC debut. They must not like him because last time he was meant to fight in the UFC, they put him up against JDM. I think they're just trying to get him put out. And look, they did it this time. They did it this time. We got a feel for him here. Hopefully he can recover well from this, and hopefully he can come back and maybe bounce back. I'm sure they'll give him another run in the UFC. Another fight, I mean. Just for taking that short notice step up. They're usually keen to give those fighters a chance, given that they're willing to, step in and save a fight on a card. And respect to him for doing that. You got to give him his respect for jumping in here. I think it was like maybe a week's or so notice. Got to give him his respect right there. Honestly. Jacoby Smith, impressive performance. Maybe too many ground and pound shots to follow up, but it is what it is. It's a fight. This is what we like. This is what we enjoy. It's a fucking fight. We'll brush over the rest of this card quite quickly. I want to wrap this up as quick as I can so I can work on this video and do some other shit later. Michel Pereira versus Zach Reese. This was like just two cars crashing into each other every 30 seconds. This was a very slow-paced fight. Not a very technical fight. Michel Pereira wins by split decision. I picked him to win by knockout in the first, or by finish in the first. I didn't expect him to win a decision, and I actually didn't score him to win this decision. I thought Zachary Reese probably did enough. I thought Reese probably had round 2 and 3. Michel kind of dropped him off balance in the first, so you could give him the first round there. Reese had a weird aura farm moment that didn't end up paying off. I mean, it was kind of weird. They did the Max Holloway thing, throw down at the end. What else? Oh, the fouls. The fouls, man. The non-fouls, I should say. Michel Pereira, you fucking bitch. That was hard to watch. The first one was like, oh, shit, okay. No, not really a foul. Then the second one came along. Oh, definitely not a foul. The third one, the supposed eye poke, not a foul. Bro, what were they doing? They saw the replays. One of the kicks was lower thigh. One, I think, was a knee that maybe slightly scraped the cut, but it didn't look like it at all. High belt line. And then the eye poke, his fingers were out, but on the replay, there's nowhere there where you can really see any finger go into the eye or even really near the eye. So I feel like that was some bullshit, to be honest. Michel Pereira pulls off a split decision win. Anyways, let's run down the rest of the fight card. This fight was fucking sick. This fight probably should have got fight of the night. I don't know how it didn't. Carlos Leal, I went with Chidi and Jokawana here to win by first round knockout. Carlos Leal, he wins by decision. I don't know if they gave him all 3 rounds. I'm not too sure. But I had Chidi win in the second round. And round 3 was very close. Carlos Leal's pressure just got to him. Carlos Leal's pressure really got to him. Chidi was working those kicks well, very from the jump. Low kicks, teeps. He kept setting up that knee, kept landing it. Bro, Leal has an insanely suspect pace. Just saying. Insanely suspect pace to be thrown like that for 3 rounds in your face non-stop. I really seen him getting knocked out in this fight just by the way he walks forward with his chin up. But Chidi just couldn't make it happen. He was landing, but he just couldn't put him down. Couldn't put him down at all. So decent win here by Carlos Leal, and it was a really fun fight to watch. it was a little bit annoying watching it live. I had a bunch of the boys over in the house, and they all went on cheating Jokawani because I had him picked, and they were all bummed out because he was losing. But it was a sick fight, so that kind of got to me a little bit in the moment. Is what it is. Is what it is. Watching the fight back, this was a fucking fun scrap, and I'm surprised it didn't get a fight of the night bonus. I know they gave out full performance bonuses. Maybe Jacoby Smith didn't necessarily need one for the layup, but it is what it is. It is what it is. This is a good fight either way, and both these guys are getting paid. That's what matters. For the rest of the card, a little bit mediocre, as mentioned earlier. Alibi Idris, I went with Alibi to win by decision. He wins the decision, mostly pressuring Osborne, mixing in the takedowns. He did well to keep up with the speed of Osborne here. I'm surprised. Osborne started to land a bit more later on into the fight, landing that check hook and stuff. But he just did well to stifle Osborne's rhythm, I guess. I think that's the constant forward in-your-face pressure, mixing in the takedowns, able to get him down and hold him down for short amounts of time, but Osborne was able to work his way back up. But Osborne just wasn't putting enough out there, and that's a problem that he has. It's a problem that he's had in his career for many fights. He's able to keep it close with these guys, but he does fall into the bracket of not putting enough output in, you know? And it's unfortunate because I think he's pretty decent. He's really fucking fast and he's got good power. So, good win here by Alibi Idris against a decent contender, or a decent person in the division, you know? Not like a complete jobber, okay? Next fight was Alden Correa versus Luis Garule. I went with Alden Correa to win a decision. He wins by decision. Impressive 3 rounds, all to Correa in my opinion. Just put the hands on him. Won all the scrambles. Garule couldn't really get to him, and Alden Correa was able to just piece him up at range. Speed, hands, everything. A couple of submission threats here in the second round, I believe, from Correa. Yeah, like I mentioned, just out-scrambled, outworked, outpaced, out-damaged, everything against Luis Garule. And look, Luis Garule's not the worst. Luis Garule's not the absolute worst. I did say in the prediction video, he hasn't done that much since getting into the UFC. He's only lost. But, man, he's not awful. He's not awful, you know. I think there's worse fighters in the division than that. And Correa put a good three round working on him. I don't want to say it was a beating because he wasn't like bloodied up and all that, but he put a good 3 round working on him, just outpacing him the whole time, and it was a pretty good performance. We'll go to the next one, Jocelyn Edwards versus Nora Cornell. Wow, Jocelyn Edwards, man. Fucking give Jocelyn Edwards some respect, boys. Round 2 submission win by Jocelyn Edwards. That's 4 finishes in a row for a women's MMA fighter. That's a good stat. That's a good stat to have as a WMMA fighter in the UFC. 3 knockouts and now a submission. Nora Cornell did well in the first round. That must be said. I think she won the first round quite clearly based off of damage. Edwards not being able to get the takedowns in the first. It was starting to get a little bit worrying there. But as soon as the second round came around, she was able to start landing those takedowns, getting the fight up to the fence, holding the clinch, getting takedowns. And then she just found a takedown and had Nora in this weird spot where she kind of slammed her onto her shoulder. And watching it back, I feel like you could hear it. Fucking something in that shoulder go, man. It was a loud like crack. And yeah, from there, it looked like she was actually out cold. And Edwards started teeing off on her. And yeah. Tees off on her, ref doesn't stop it, and she jumps the back and takes a submission. I took Edwards to win by decision. I said that a submission would be possible. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good performance, though. Good performance for Jocelyn Edwards. Interesting to see where she goes next, who she gets next. The rest of the card, yeah. Ramiz Brahimaj. I went with Brahimaj to win by submission. Punahele Soriano wins by decision. Just out-damaging him. Out-damaging him for the most part. Ramiz had a good first round, outstriking him. But in the second and the third, he really was trying to take him down. I feel like the second round was the decider here. I feel like the second round was fairly close. I mean, but obviously, Punahele got more strikes, more damage in the second. Ramiz got a lot of control time in the second, so that's... Watching it live, I was like, oh, this could be closer. But yeah, looking back on the stats and looking back at the fight as it went down, watching it back, Punahele won this fight quite convincingly. It was close, but, you know, he just did more work later as the fight went on, and he picked up the decision win. I got that one wrong, sadly. Jean-Paul Bosniani versus Phil Rowe. This was a good fight. I didn't mind this fight. I didn't think this fight was too bad. Jean-Paul Bosniani did well, putting on a good, decent striking performance against a very tall, lanky fighter in the division. And he did well to mix in the takedowns, get some good control time, threaten some submissions here and there. And he just did well to mix it up throughout the fight. Just outworking Phil Rowe across the board. Third round, I could probably give to Rowe. I don't know how this was a split decision. I thought this was an obvious win to Jean-Paul Bosniani. But somehow, some way, it was a split decision. I'm glad the right person got it. But man, you always get worried when you hear the judges scored this card. Dan Mergliata, I know that's a ref. Saudi Amato scores it 29-28. When you hear that, you go, oh shit, what's happening here? When you think there's a clear winner, yeah, I'm glad that went the right way. Jean-Paul Bosniani, good win. Good win against, I know it was like fairly short notice, but not the worst. Again, not the worst dude in the division. A good test for someone who's coming into the sport on debut. It's not a jobber like some people will get on debut and for their next 3 or 4 fights. Good win. Good win. I think it needs to be said. And look, Phil Rowe's only been knocked out once, never been submitted. He does have good BJJ, even though he's happy on the back a lot of the time and struggles to get back up to his feet sometimes. He does have good BJJ, so he did well to survive. And I don't think it's the worst thing that Jean-Paul won this fight by decision and not by finish. I think it was good that he was able to show that he's able to go the distance. Even though he did get cracked right at the end of that third, I think it's good to be able to show that he's able to do that. And yeah, I'll be keen to see who he gets next. So the betting scandal. It's all coming together. The fight was definitely rigged, and I'm not a genius for picking Yardier against Isaac Dolgarian. Because Jordan Levitt was able to fucking just hold him down and wet blanket him for 3 rounds, so... Yeah, I don't know. This fight was pretty boring to watch. This was disappointing. I thought Yardier was a better prospect than this. This is not the case. Jordan Levitt wins a good 3-round decision, just out grappling, holding Yardier down, not doing a whole lot, not doing much damage, really trying to avoid the fight. Not a great fight to watch. But a good win by Jordan Levitt against it. Who I thought was a decent prospect, but it's going to be hard to want to pick this guy going forward from this point. And in the first fight of the night, Juliana Miller versus Cardi Judiz. Carly Judiz pulls off a decision win. I thought she was going to get a knockout here. Juliana Miller was able to find some success early and late with the takedowns and submission threats, but it wasn't enough. Carly Judiz just outworked her on the feet, outstruck her pretty clearly across 3 rounds. I'd give her all 3 rounds. Juliana Miller's face when she's fighting is... It's a little bit funny to look at. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know what that face is. Anyways, Thanks for watching, guys. If you got to this point, this was a fucking awesome card. I'm cheering, absolutely cheering that we got all these fights correct. Oh, what am I saying here? Absolutely cheering that I got the main fight correct. Method as well. Boys, I'll see you in the next video. Possibly a prediction video. I'm going to try and drop something else this week. Maybe work on something a little bit different. Maybe we'll talk about some issues with Paramount or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm going to have a think about it. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like and a sub if you've enjoyed. If you got to this point of the video, you're a fucking legend. Let's fucking OG.